Tonight, new year, new tax.
Every spin-off industry in every community is affected by this.
The carbon levy in Alberta is officially here, but in the border city there's concern over fair play.
This is Newcap News with Nicole Stilger.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. With the new year, a new tax has taken effect in Alberta. The controversial carbon tax is aimed at curbing emissions as part of an overall climate change strategy. It's been met with cheers and jeers, but here in the border city, there's concern about a level playing field. Adam McVicker reports.
Alberta's new carbon levy has taken effect. An additional charge on emissions up to $20 per ton in 2017 and $30 per ton in 2018. The tax resulting in a 4.5 cent hike to gas and 5.4 cent increase to diesel, with natural gas on the rise $1 per gigajoule.
Every spin-off industry in every community is affected by this.
Here in Lloydminster, a different story, as the carbon tax only applies to the Alberta side of 50th Avenue. Troubling for gas stations, according to the Chamber of Commerce.
So we feel that it would be unfair to the Alberta retailers that they would have a posted higher price based on the carbon levy. You know, we've seen this before where people would migrate to where the lowest price is.
According to Saunders, the rising cost of doing business could leave a discrepancy based on Lloydminster's unique situation.
We're also on the Trans-Canada Yellowhead Highway. And so that in itself, there's millions of trucks and transport and people migrating from province to province across this border through this city every day.
The carbon levy seems to be bringing up memories of the PST on the Saskatchewan side in 2001.
I think there was an imbalance, and it led to ultimately the community making a lobby, and that difference being mitigated through an exemption.
Whenever there's regulation or taxation from the two provinces that creates an inequity between the two halves of the city, we've worked hard to make sure that both sides of our city are treated, basically the same.
The Chamber's Political Action Committee is calling on the government to take a closer look at the border city.
It's out of sight, out of mind right now if you're sitting in central Alberta, but if you have experienced how the city of Lloydminster works, you have to respect that there can't be an advantage or disadvantages for businesses. It's got to be equal.
Various factors have increased gas prices in Alberta over 8 cents during the past week and 19 cents over the last month. As for how the carbon tax affects prices in Lloydminster, only time will tell. Adam McVicker, Newcap News.
And the province of Alberta estimates the carbon levy will cost the average family $443 more in 2017, but lower income earners are expected to receive a rebate.
Full rebates will be provided to single Albertans who earn $47,500 or less, and couples and families who earn $95,000 or less. An additional 6% of households will receive a partial.
Although December is deemed the most wonderful time of the year by many, it can also be one of the hardest months on your finances. But even though many people's New Year's resolutions is to save up money, the Synergy Credit Union's phones are not ringing off the hook.
Rarely do we see folks that are kind of taking that proactive step and coming in and asking for the help. I find that, Christmas is one of those bigger expenditure months that comes along, and even though we shouldn't be surprised by it every year, sometimes it takes us off guard.
West says to treat debt like you would a diet or any other New Year's resolution by assessing your goals both in the short term and long term. He adds if there has been one benefit to a poor economy, it's people being more mindful of their spending habits.
I think that the economy has helped or allowed people to be more mindful with their spending. Whenever you're kind of looking at your employment and income and things like that, you always want to be a little bit more cautious as you go through some of those high expenditure months. Yeah.
For more information on saving, you can visit their website. Well, we have 2 cats up for adoption in this week's Pet Project. Noelle is a 2-year-old domestic short-haired cat, and Kira is a 3-year-old domestic short-haired cat. Here's John from the SPCA.
2016 was another extremely successful year for adoptions, with an amazing 619 animals finding their forever homes. Although it was a record-breaking year, there are still many animals that are waiting to meet their new families, including Noelle. Noelle, a 2-year-old domestic short-haired cat, is not only a beautiful girl, but she's also extremely affectionate. She simply adores people. Once you look at her beautiful amber eyes, you'll be hooked, and once she's in your arms, she'll purr her heart out with delight. Noelle isn't an overly playful cat. She'd much rather spend her day curled up on your lap getting some extra love and attention, which sounds like the perfect remedy to the cold weather. Noelle is definitely a very special cat that will bring joy to the lucky family who takes her home. Be sure to stop by the SPCA and meet this wonderful girl today. This gentle soul is Kira, a 3-year-old domestic short-haired cat. Although shy at first, Kira finds comfort in the extra cuddles and attention. Once she feels comfortable, she starts to relax and her loving personality starts to shine. Due to her peaceful nature, Kira would definitely prefer a quiet home, as one with lots of activity may be too much for her. However, in the right environment filled with lots of love, Kira will settle in quickly. Kira is a lovely girl that will melt anyone's heart, so don't miss out on meeting her today and make 2017 a memorable year for both you and Kira.
This is Newcap Sports.
Well, the new year means a new start for Lakeland College basketball. The Lady Rustlers are in 4th in the ACAC North standings, but adversity faces the team ahead of its weekend games against King's University. A look at practice Tuesday presented the noticeable absence of 2 prominent faces, and head coach Chris King shared some light on the subject.
Romelin was dismissed from our team for conduct detrimental to Lakeland Athletics. And then we think that Brooklyn Bertoy has quit. We haven't heard from her yet, but that's kind of where we're at right now. So these type of things happen. As a team, we're just kind of rolling with the punches. I really like what I've seen out of our group since we've been back from the Christmas break. Our chemistry's been very good and intensity's been high. So just like any other team, when you have injuries or losses, you just got to keep moving on and figure out what's best for your squad.
Romanalyn Inocencio leads the team in many areas, including minutes per game at 26.4 and points per game at 12.6. The loss means reaching the Kings' goal of a 10-2 season second-half record, and it takes a major hit despite the coach's optimism.
I'm excited. We're changing a little bit with what we're doing offensively and getting some other players some bigger roles. And defensively, we're going to make some changes as well. So it's a little bit of a revamp, but everything that we've done so far has been the building blocks, and we're just going to keep adding to it. We could lose 6 players, we're still going to keep pushing ahead.
Well, for every locally owned team, it takes many sponsors to keep the team on the ice. In this week's Beyond the Boards, Drew Miller shows us how a few Bobcats are saying thank you to local businesses.
Merry Christmas, guys. Hey, how are you? Good, bud. Merry Christmas.
Christmas has come and gone, but the Lloydminster Bobcats got in the giving spirit, offering a card in thanks to local businesses for sponsoring their team. Cliff Rose for Clothes owner Dave Schneider is happy to continue supporting the team.
We've been a long time sponsor, either with season tickets or a sponsor, and they're a great part of our community. The rink is a great part of our community. It's a good meeting place for people in Lloyd and around the surrounding area.
The players know they would not have a team if it were not for these sponsors, and going to show their appreciation is the least they can do.
They're basically the reason we get to come to Lloydminster and play hockey in the AJHL, and you can't really thank them enough, but hopefully, coming in person and giving some cards is, means something, and means a lot to us for all the support they give us.
The Lloydminster Bobcats have around 150 sponsors, and for the players, it's a great time to meet who continues to pay the bills.
We handed out Christmas cards.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so we'll sign up for you.
We get to come out and we get to see, kind of put names and faces with all the marketing that's up in the rink and stuff, and it's good to get out into the community for sure and just say thank you for all the support that they give us, and it's just a small thing, but I think it means a lot to the community too.
For Trophy Gallery owner Clint Hickson, he's happy to meet the players and see them not only on the ice.
It's nice to meet them and see the captain and the rest of the team. It's awesome, and it's nice to see them being involved in the community. It's great.
Nice to meet you guys. Nice to meet you. Yeah, happy holidays.
Drew Miller, Newcap Sports.